Stars.
Please give Nemesis his iconic voice back, or give him a new iconic voice, unlike the disappointing one of William has in the remake of RE2. I think his appearances should be scripted in the game. The creature can run, he can use weapons, he can hit you with his tentacle by extending it out of his arm. So he's more dangerous than Mr. X, who mostly walks. So yeah, I think it's better to keep his appearances scripted, like this and make them special, like this in the electric power plant and the power station. One choice makes him appear right there, and the other choice makes him appear again away. Oh, and he should be obsessed, so obsessed with doing his job himself that he kills monsters in the way. Like he kills the old zombies by the power station. This makes him more special than the guy who pushes monsters away to hit you. This is more obsession. This is the kind of obsession he deserves. Oh, and he should also drop gifts in higher difficulty settings. This is a special thing that I really liked. More powerful weapons than the regular ones you have, more powerful counterparts. They are unique and they add more variety to the game. More and some healing items. Nemesis droppings should be special. I'd like to see more of the involvement of the prick Nikolai. He's an enigma. I think he deserves more story this many years later. Like, how does he walk past fire before he does it? And then you hear him scream of agony, pain when he sees monsters or the gas station explodes. You hear his pain, you believe he died, but then you're surprised that he survives. I'd like to see this explored more, explained. How does he survive after not catching up to the armored train of the cable car, not catching up to the cable car to avoid this?
That's a lot of ground to cover. I don't think we can make it on foot.
The main problem we have is that the landing zone is cut off from here by the fire. So we have no choice but to use this cable car to navigate through it. Fortunately, we can also use it as a moving shield to get us through the worst areas.
He's fast and he can walk past fire and catch up to a cable car. Fast moving vehicle and avoid monsters like the Nemesis. This deserves to be explored. This deserves to be explained. I'd like to see more of it. Resident Evil 1 has it, the remake of the original kept it and expanded on it, and Resident Evil 3 brought it back. Different paths are awesome. They make the replayability more unique, more special. Different scenarios and different outcomes make the game more interesting, more playable. Because it's more interesting. Yeah, I said it interesting too many times already. Whether you see Carlos helpful or sulking, whether you see Carlos facing Nikolai or avoiding him, and where you find Carlos and encounter Nemesis with him for the first time. This is one of the greatest parts of Resident Evil 3. It deserves to stay and be expanded on. Oh yeah, and keep this flat. This is a fan favorite moment, and I find it funny when Carlos seemingly hopeless and is hit by a slap. I'd like to see an expansion that shows Nicholas die. Carlos die. I'd like to see an expansion with Carlos die, an expansion of this ID. Characters in Resident Evil 1 who you know are survived, like Barry Burton and Rebecca Chambers. You know they are survived. You know they didn't get stabbed like Whisker did. But in the original, each character has two different scenarios of them dying. Well, her in case of Rebecca. And I think the remake expanded on it. Gave more options. Gave more scenes. I'd like to see one with Carlos dying. When you unlock Jill's diary, you see she was wounded. She wrote that she was wounded in the events of Resident Evil 1. Revealing more skin makes less sense, so she should probably wear something revealing less skin, something more protective, but doesn't hinder her movement. Something like Claire's default outfit in Resident Evil 2 Remake. And add more costumes. Oh yeah, if you bring back the remake, if you bring back the outfit of Regina, I hope it's a tease for the remake of Dino Crisis, cause man, we're interested in a remake of those. Jill walks and hears people in agony. She hears some screams in the original. And then we see people die, eaten by zombies. I'd like to see this expanded upon. See her maybe give us maybe the ability to save people or ignore them. See them die later or keep them in someplace safe that is that can keep them away from zombies and protect them. And for extra modes, I'd like to be able to play as the Tyrant. Unlike the extra mode of Ghost Survivor in Resident Evil 2, where you play as more people carrying guns and need to avoid monsters. It would be more interesting to play as the Tyrant this time.
September 28th, daylight. The monsters have overtaken the city. Somehow, I'm still alive. October 1st, night. I woke up to the sound of falling rain. I can't believe I'm still alive.
The time duration is like 4-5 days in the original. I'd like to see the effect of the characters experiencing hunger, scavenging for food, but not without costing the experience. Jill is one of the most agile characters. No, she's the most agile and fastest character in gameplay. I'd like to see this happen. But I'd also like to explore, scavenge for food, find more rations, try to find something not contaminated by the virus. If possible. I'm not one who opposes or hates the water puzzle. I like it. But it's infamous. It doesn't deserve to return. Make new puzzles from the scratch. The gameplay as it is fun, and it's replayable worthy. Different scenarios make it even more replayable. But unlocking a different outcome, a different epilogue per scenario, every time you finish the game for one epilogue makes the gameplay a bit tedious and annoying. It's uncomfortable. Maybe unlock 2 or 3 something at once would be helpful. Or maybe unlock them by finding secret diaries and some stuff. This is how you unlock some epilogues. And I have to wonder, why are epilogues for Carlos and Rebecca Chambers missing from the original? One of them is playable in this game, in the main mode and in the extra mode, Mercenaries mode. And Rebecca is a playable character in the first. So how come almost every playable character in the first has an epilogue? Every playable character in the second has an epilogue, but not Carlos and not Rebecca. Why there an epilogue for Hank? He's not playable. I think he dies in the cutscene that in the full motion video showing the mercenaries die by the hands of William and the backstory in the original Resident Evil 2. Why does he have an epilogue surviving?